In this podcast, we introduce Tillie Jones, a Coast Salish weaver. Here we will listen as she explains her journey with her weaving sisters and the collaborative work with the Burke Museum and the discussion of her artwork at the Woven in Wool exhibit.
Iwiwas Idzda is my ancestral name from my mother's side. Tillie Jones is my English name. I'm enrolled the Tulalip tribes, also a Wanapum Yakima descendant. I work for my tribe, my people, on the nonprofit Coast Salish Wool Weaving Center since before it started, which began in 2018. My mate is Al Charles Jr. We have 4 beautiful boys that we're kind of learning to take in all of these spots that they can fit in within their own identity. If you're good at something, you kind of get pushed into that category. Wool weaving, I feel, was kind of decided for me. My late sister actually signed me up for the class, and she did not continue on weaving, although we both did cedar and now learning wool, which was our traditional regalia. And after her passing, I always come to think of Susan as my sister. My sister left me a sister. I try not to question them. It's almost meant to be, right? Like my mate saying, I had a dream about you, right? I knew you were going to be my wife. Him being a canoe carver, my dad being a canoe carver. It's almost like somebody wrote this story and I just have to not play this part, but just be who I am. A lot of where we come from is what was left to us. All of our lands don't belong to us. I used to be a Lashutsi teacher, so when I think of our home, I think of Duflalep, which represents the small bay, like the smallmouth bay, and we have this known sandbar that boats and people, if you're not familiar with it, used to get caught on. But Tulalip has always been my home. My parents always made it very, very clear our bloodlines and who we are and our responsibilities in life, which is great because we do that with our kids now, unknowingly. When you're growing up, you don't realize all of these things are so important and they're just basic things, everyday life, right? This is just what we do. This is how we're growing up, going to longhouses, learning how to twine, twill, make a watertight basket, how to cook in it from both sides of our lineage. So it would be Plains and then it would be like my Coast Salish side. My families are kind of divided, so I get to learn both. Now I have to teach both as well. So, which is amazing. We all have our own backgrounds, our own bloodlines, our own languages, which play a huge part in who you are. What thoughts? You always want to have good thoughts, good hearts, good mind. One of my mentors would always say, one heart, one mind. I always have to be present. I always have to ground myself, maybe turn my phone off. I know if I start thinking of something that I'm supposed to be doing, whether it's something simple like the dishes, or I gotta go buy groceries, I'll mess up, create a mistake that I can see. I'm not present with my weaving. I'm not giving my full attention to my piece. I'm not giving it that love, that respect that it deserves. And just, I cannot weave like with a bad intention in mind. It's always like a good intention. It's always my therapy, really. People go and have different types of therapy. They draw, they, may sing. When I weave, I'm there. I'm only there. And I wish that for everybody else, right? You have something that draws you. You have something that captures you, right? That speaks to you. And it's who we are, and it's how we connect to all of these other weavers, these people, our gatherers, our hunters, because we don't do this ourselves. Speaking about the tump line that I wove, which was nettle warp around the top and the bottom bar, and then you're weaving back and forth. It's all twined. I had all of it done. Everything was done, ready. I had all this beautiful design in it, and that's not what it wanted to be. And I have a picture of all of the mountain goat that was taken out, that was dyed, that was cut. I took it out, and now it's white. It goes back and forth, and it's exactly the design that it was supposed to be, and that felt right. But repurposing the yarn and not wasting what I had already cut but it became not waisted, it became a mountain goat wool headband that my husband wears, and he calls it like a calico one because the pieces, I didn't waste any pieces. Maybe like a 1/4 inch I cut off of one, but I tried to tuck it and not waste any of it. You can't buy mountain goat in the store. I can't go to Michael's and paying attention to what I was supposed to do with it. Plus, we have a couple of hoods, so I'm not going to make a hood, right? We have a couple of skirts, so I think everything came out the way it was supposed to. My kids, it's normal for them. They just wanted to play and, mess around with it. We wanted to see how much weight that tumbline could hold. Our kids are super excited. So the process, I was weaving alone mostly, usually, but the process, the spinning, the dyeing portion of it, which the whole process really makes me think of connecting with people. So it's just a continuous pattern, I would say, that really connects all of us together. When it's time to gather, you gather. That way you're prepared for when you do want to dye something. You want to, add it to your wool to make it thicker. We were just talking about adding duck down, duck feathers, and the different processes, the different stories that we've come across, the different testimonies that kind of light a light and make us want to try it. That might be our next adventure. We have a lot yet to come, I believe. But the process, it's so much time. It's a lot. You have to really sacrifice a lot of your time to be able to do the work. Some of the simpler weavings where they don't have the color are the more puzzling pieces where you have to figure out how did they get this braid on the end. You'll never ever learn everything. Learning is a continuous process, even in your life. You could be told the same story now, but in 10 years hearing it, you might learn something else. The same thing is with weaving. If you see a weaving and you study it through a glass one time, then the next time it's on the table and you can touch it and you can feel it and you can get a magnifying glass and count and see how they warped and what's the warp, what's the weft. You just have to keep digging at that and never give up and always keep learning.
We would like to thank Tillie Jones for the opportunity to interview her.